Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I am Irvin's Garcon.
I'm Ann Garcon, and together we are
Love Talks with the Garcon,
where love speaks.
And we listen. We want to thank you guys for coming back to our channel, check out our content, to check out our live. But do us a favor. Make sure if you're not subscribed that you hit that subscribe button right now.
Like, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Hit it right now. But go a step further. Actually hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Share this video with at least five people. This is great stuff, something they're going to be learning from. So make sure you share it. Do not be selfish.
Right. And so today our topic is going to be one that is very near and dear to our hearts.
Yes.
We wouldn't say that we're masters at it,
but we are mastering it.
We are pretty darn good.
Yeah, we are working on mastering it, and we've made it a staple in our marriage.
Right. And so the topic, it can either make or break your relationship. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that is validating your partner's feelings.
Yeah.
Yes, because nothing screams or says, I love you more than just listening when your partner is sharing from a place of frustration or they're just pouring their heart out.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So what is validation, right? Validation is basically telling your partner, I get why you feel that way and it makes sense. I want to highlight the part that it makes sense, because just because you don't feel that way doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense for her or him. Yeah. And so validation is purely saying your feelings make sense and I get why you feel that way. It's not always about trying to fix the problem. It's just allowing your person to feel and understanding that their feelings matter.
So it's not really about a piece of paper on the floor, but it's the fact that you're frustrated that there is a piece of paper on the floor.
And I get to feel that way.
And you are allowed to feel that way.
And I just need you to be a supportive human.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. You want to act something out?
We can act something out.
I know you do. That's the educator in you.
Let's go.
All right. Let's do something work-related.
All right.
Work-related. We'll go.
I'm so frustrated. Oh my God. Like, my boss is always complaining about the littlest things. I try my best every single day, but because one thing wasn't done, now I'm like the worst.
You should just quit, bro. Your boss has been crazy for years. I mean, you come home and talking about your boss every single day. Look for another job. You should just quit.
Wrong answer.
That is the wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. And why is that the wrong answer, though? It's the wrong answer because I completely avoided the feeling of frustration that Ann is bringing.
Not avoided, ignored.
I ignored that feeling of frustration that she is bringing to the table and went straight to try to give a solution to a problem, right? She probably was not even soliciting a solution at the moment.
I really wasn't.
She really wasn't.
Because I'm not going to quit.
We need that money. We need that money.
I just need to vent. So let's try the right way.
All right. Rewind.
Like, it is just so annoying. Like, I know I'm a great employee and I do everything that I can, but like, why is my boss always nitpicking one thing that I didn't do and now I'm the worst?
Oh man, you sound so frustrated
no,
right now. Okay. I'm sorry you feel that way, babe. And I know it cannot be easy to work in that kind of environment. So that feeling of frustration, I validate it. I understand where you're coming from.
Thanks. The way he validated me and allowed me to feel and kind of felt with me made me feel like I wasn't alone. Yeah. Made me feel heard, because at work I can't say that, right? I can't feel heard there because I'm not going to share my real feelings. But in a relationship, you want to have a safe space where what you're sharing is something that's being taken into account.
Absolutely.
And supported.
I think based on the type of person that you are, especially for the men like to be very solution-oriented, solution-focused. So automatically it is tempting for us to go the solution route.
Right.
Do this, do that, and completely miss what your partner needed in that moment, which in that moment, all they wanted is to be able to express their feelings and have those feelings be validated.
Why is validation so crucial? Why is it
Yeah.
so important?
It's important because, there's a lot of buzzwords that happen now in our generation, right? Safe space, feeling safe, and those type of words that before the previous generation probably did not have the wording for it,
Yeah.
but we have now. So we want to create safe spaces for our partners. When you validate feelings, it creates an emotional safety for your partner that when you just listening to them, they're not nagging. When you just listen and let them speak about their feelings, sometimes we translate that into nagging, then they don't feel safe at all. If the person always feel like, okay, when I'm coming to express to you something that is hurting me, something that is bothering me, you call it nagging, you don't have an emotional safety, an emotional safe place.
And what that does is that your person will just create a wall.
Yeah.
Instead of like really being
Absolutely.
feeling open enough to share
Yeah.
how they really feel. And that could potentially cause them to go and share with somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? That creates that safe space for them. It could be a work husband, a work wife.
Right.
Right? It could be someone that that they have no business talking to.
Yeah.
So you want to be that person for your person. Why else is validation crucial? It really strengthens your connection and your intimacy. Like if I feel safe with you, like I feel like I can share things with you that I don't share with anyone else, right? It brings us closer. We're able to go in depth with our feelings and I feel comfortable doing that because I know that I'm not going to be judged,
Yeah.
right? We listen and we don't judge, right? I know I'm not going to be looked at differently. I know that I'm going to have a space to really feel and be supported in those feelings. There's nothing like it. Like for someone to come home and really want to pour their heart out, but then you hear, it's not that serious.
Right. Just quit.
Do you know what that can do to your person? You completely nullify anything that they were ever feeling as if their feelings didn't matter.
Yeah.
As if their feelings didn't make any sense, as if they had no right to feel the way that they felt.
Yeah. And also one of the powerful thing about intimacy and validating somebody's feelings, you could actually bring you closer to your partner without even touching. You don't have to touch the person, but just being that space for them to express their vulnerability. Because again, being able to express feelings come a place of having to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be vulnerable to express whatever it is that you're feeling, where the person is not looking at you, rolling their eyes, as Ann mentioned, like it's not really that serious, right? That is something that could bring you guys closer in your relationship or marriage without even having to touch.
Another reason why it's so crucial is because it reduces conflict.
Yeah.
Like I'm not built for this. I'm not built for the bickering all the time. And women are usually very emotional. We usually are the ones that need to be validated more, right? Because we lead with emotion, whereas men will lead with their thinking and factual things, right?
Of course, we don't generalize. In some cases, it could be the opposite, but for the most part,
for the majority, right? And so to know that that I have the support of my person to feel and to express those feelings and in a healthy way, it really does matter. Once you feel that your feelings are not validated, you become defensive.
Yeah, that's true.
And it like I said, it builds the wall, and now there are arguments and, one-word text messages, and then the tension builds up, and now we're not having any sex. And that it's not worth it. And it's unfair to the person that really should have that confidence in you to support them through it all.
Because the thing about it, us human beings, think about this for a second. We are naturally made to go into defense mode, right? So when you are in conversation with a partner and that person is sharing their feelings to you, which means that they have to be vulnerable, and their moment of vulnerability, you are basically dismissing the feelings that they are expressing, automatically they're going to be defensive. They're not going to be bringing anything else to you. and they're going to be holding these things in, and holding these things in brings so much other drama.
It builds resentment, and then you're now
animosity,
now
anger.
you're having thoughts about this person. Like, are you even in love anymore? You can literally just stop feeling and get a cold heart.
If you're like Ann, if you're like my wife, you start making up stories in your head that, do you even love me? Do you even care about me? Sis, all I told you, quit your job because you're frustrated. Right? But the fact that I bypass the frustration part, is very possible for that partner to start thinking about these negative feelings that don't even exist.
Like, we need to just get into the habit of just saying, I hear you.
Yes.
I feel your frustration. I understand it.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk more about that? I understand. Yeah, that sucks. I hate that for you.
Yeah. Or even being more specific, I'm really sorry that you're feeling this. I hate it that that's your
This is your reality.
That's your reality in the moment. As you're saying that, you put your arms around them and you start looking at them in the eyes and you just give a little kiss. You know, that leads to so much. Look, you saw that just now, right? She was ready, but it was just a tease. Like things like that. Things like that.
So let's get a little bit more practical, right? Yeah. How do you validate? First thing is you need to stop multitasking and actually listen.
Be in the moment.
Put the flipping phone down.
That felt a little personal.
Bro.
You good? Let me drink some water.
No one feels validated competing with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, unless you're watching this video. Okay, that's the exception.
Watch it together. Tell them, okay, let's not talk about this yet. Let's finish watching this together.
No, but if I'm bearing my heart out to you, and you're on your phone, that is validation 101. Negative.
Right. Men, close those boxes. Close those boxes. We learned the other day that men's brain is compartmentalized and we have different boxes. And for one to be focused or come to the forefront, others need to be closed. So it's super imperative, as N is referring to, that you're closing all these other boxes that could be distracting and you're focusing on the moment.
And are you even looking at me? Do I even have your attention? Eye contact is super important. Like, put your phone down, look at me, and feel.
Feel. Okay.
Feel what I'm feeling, and let's go through this together.
It's called empathy. Yeah. I like it. So another thing that you can do to be able to validate your partner's feeling, I think it's very important for you to reflect on what you heard. You reflect on what you heard. And say it back. And say it back. And also it goes back to the first one, making sure there are no other distractions. Nothing else is occupying your mind. Sometimes you even have to shut off your mind. So you talk about the cell phone, but you have to shut off all other thoughts so it can be present with your partner. That way you're able to articulate or repeat what you heard, right? So if your partner said, listen, I'm stressed about money, don't say something like, relax, we'll figure it out. There's no validation. There's no validation here. Something that might sound better is like, okay, I understand how you're feeling. I hear you. And I'm worried just as you are. Finances are rough right now.
But we're going to get through it. But right? Even offering some type of encouragement that we are in this together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure this out. Another thing is that you should validate even if you don't agree. I know this is going to be hard. But even if you don't agree with the reason why your person is feeling the way that they're feeling, validate anyway.
But if you think about it, it's really not that hard. How can you disagree with what somebody's feeling?
Right.
That's true.
If they're feeling that way, it's a fact for them.
I mean, you could definitely disagree with the cause of the feeling. You might not feel a pair of socks on the floor in the living room floor is a big deal. But you cannot disagree that they are upset about it.
Right.
Especially in the case where they've told you over and over again, please, that bothers me.
Yeah.
Some people are anal.
And so after a while,
sock
it's
on
like,
the
if
floor
you're going to keep
bothers
doing
them.
it, do you really care
Some
about
people
me?
are
Do you even
anal.
love me?
Some people are just anal about a pair of socks on the floor, and they start asking you, "Do you really love me?" Because of a pair of socks on the floor.
It's that kind of personal, bro.
But I gotta validate those feelings that come along with
Validate
it.
those
Even though I
feelings.
disagree with the socks being on the floor, I mean, it's not really a big of a deal because when Bailey does it, it's not a problem. But when I do
All
it,
right,
it's a
bro,
problem.
relax.
I'm sorry. Flashback.
So it could get hard, but it's
Pause.
possible.
Yeah, another way you can validate your partner's feeling is through physical reassurance, right? The person is talking. Imagine after they express that feeling, you just pull them in and give them a nice hug, right? Yeah. So that's actual physical component, right? And if you have motive, that one hug could lead to bring your motive to fruition.
Or it could literally just be a hug.
Or it could bring
Just
your
hold
motive
me.
or it could bring your motive to fruition.
Or it can be like a nice rub on the back. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to get through this. Like, I feel you. I'm here for you.
But
I'm here for you. Is there anything you need?
But and fair warning though about that physical reassurance. Read the room. Make sure they're not mad at you.
Yeah.
Okay. If they're super angry and you're the person or you're the source of their anger, kind of read the room a little bit to see if it's safe.
Yeah.
I would even go as far as say, "Hey, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Can I give you a hug?"
And if she says no,
like,
respect that and
listen.
just give her some time to
Right.
cool down if she needs to.
Just make sure you read the room.
Just read the room.
Absolutely.
Understand that your partner still loves you. Sometimes they just need some space, and validate those feelings as well.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so quick story time. I'm usually the one that is bearing my heart out and, sharing how I'm feeling and need that validation from Irvins to feel like, okay, that I'm being heard, right? But recently, Irvins has been a little bit more expressive in his feelings and how he's dealing with things. And I was taken aback. I was like, okay, I don't know where this is coming from. I started to get a little defensive because I was like, okay, well, when did that ever become a problem? Because you never complained about it. And so instead of being there for him and allowing him to feel and express, I started to get defensive, and I would say things like, "Okay, like what are you saying? Like, where is this coming from?"
Yeah.
Questioning his feelings as opposed to supporting him in those feelings.
And during that time, I found myself being like super, super assertive and mean because I felt like it was almost hypocritical.
Yeah.
If that is a staple in our relationship, I do it for you all the time, and I never really needed that much. But I'm not that expressive person. I feel this because of that, right? And that's, by the way, that's a formula. I feel this because of that. That's a great way for you also to express those feelings behind the emotions, right? And I felt at that moment, and she just kept giving me buts, howevers, before validating the feeling I was expressing, the frustration I was expressing. Because what's crazy about that, even though that has been a staple in our relationship, the fact that I had not needed it too much, it became almost foreign to her, to the point that she forgot, hey,
I need to do this for him too.
I need to do right. One of the things that help us a lot is no matter how absurd the problem or situation is, listen, this
You
tool,
said absurd, like very convictingly. Like,
very convictingly. But
like
this,
I bring absurd feelings.
you see that? But anyway, but because we use that tool, we are not giving you something that we don't use ourselves.
Right.
Because we are really intentional about validating the feelings behind the problem. It almost has become like if you think about Superman, it becomes like a kryptonite to weaken the tension, to weaken what's happening, to provide space for communication to take place. And by the way, it's actually a skill to verbalize feelings. Not everybody know the right feelings that they're experiencing in a moment too. So if the person is in touch with those feelings It is not your job as their partners to create a place that's not safe and shut down those
And you don't
feelings.
even have to guess how they're feeling.
Yeah.
They're able to share that with you. And you
Yes.
just, like we said, support them in that.
Absolutely.
And help them get through
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we want you guys to share your experiences with validations, wins or losses,
Yeah.
in the comments below, so that we can all grow together.
Yeah. The one parenthesis I want to open up, and I do not want to stay on it too much on how it could be used against you. Do not use this tool, ladies or gentlemen,
To manipulate.
to manipulate. Don't be tempted to use it to play a game, because then when it's real, when it's genuine, it's going to be questioned.
Yeah. Listen, relationships ain't for games, okay?
Yeah.
So if you're here to play games, you're in the wrong field.
Yes.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Bang.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's wrap
All
it
right.
up, man. So we have a challenge for you guys. Whatever week you might be watching this video, take this challenge of validating somebody's feeling. It doesn't always have to be just a romantic relationship. Just anybody that is bringing something to you, and your job is to validate what they're bringing to you.
No
Just
defensiveness.
no defensiveness. Just validate what is being communicated.
Even if you have to repeat what
Yes.
you heard,
Yeah.
so that they know that you're listening, that's a form of just support. And if you gotta apologize,
Yeah.
apologize if it was your fault.
And if you mess up and you forget some of these tools, all you got to do is just come back and
Come
watch
on
this video.
back. And if you gotta watch it with your person,
Watch it together, y'all.
use it as a tool to help
Absolutely.
you. Even if you gotta practice together,
Yeah.
it will only help your relationship grow.
Yeah.
Now that you know better,
Do better.
you do better.
All right. Thank you guys for watching this video. It's been Love Talk to the Garcon. Please don't forget to share this video with at least 5 people. Be sure that you subscribe to our channel. We are a growing community, not just you subscribing, but also bring other people along with you if you find these gems to be very helpful, which I believe that you do. Right? And don't forget also to turn on the notification bell so you know when we go live, so you don't miss anything. Love Talk to the Garcons.
We love you guys.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for joining us once again. It was Ian Garcon,
Irvin's Garcon. We are Love Talk to the Garcons,
where love speaks.
and we listen.
Deuces.